Hello again.
Whatever.
What's going on, guys? We're back
What's up,
again.
guys?
So today we were discussing before the show of what we were really going to talk about, and we've decided that I think we might need to talk about some alcoholic beverages.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I thought we were going to discuss Barbies today, but okay.
I mean,
We can go there.
potato. All right.
No, I love
But
it.
one of the things that came up is I've been thinking I just don't like beer at all.
See, that surprises me, dude. Like, okay, you have like the face of a guy that says, I like beer. Like if you were to walk into
I'm the typical guy that's sitting at the end of the bar at the brewery.
Yeah, like depending on the kind of hat you're wearing, I may say that you're like a traditional Budweiser, right? Depending on the hat, or you could very easily wear like a trendier hat, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, that guy is an IPA guy, loves IPAs, right? Like,
Dude, and you couldn't pay me to drink an IPA.
See, and that's the thing. Like your face says, I like beer.
Yeah, and it couldn't be farther from the truth. So I have a way of judging beer, like, because of course, like, I still actually drink it. Like, you go over to somebody's house or you go to a function of some sort, and it's whatever it is. It's somebody's got it. Oh, here, have a beer. It's whoever, whatever. You know, IPA, double, triple IPA, whatever. I'm like, oh god. So I judge it based on, would I pick it over a Twisted Tea?
I think you would.
And I haven't found a single beer, IPA, Pilsner, Stout, this, that, you name it, that I would pick over a Twisted Tea.
This is true. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put this alcohol talk on pause for a minute, because you were just like a dad right there. Like, you had like your wife and your daughter walking behind you, like bringing shit into the house, and like you totally like went like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what's going on here? And like you were still trying to like tell me what you were thinking.
Yeah, and I couldn't do it.
But like you were so deep into the fuck is going on? Like, the fuck.
I got lost for a second. I apologize.
I found that hilarious. That's real, people, and that's how we are. We love it.
Right. This is real people shit. I live in a house with other people. My child.
You have roommates?
Yeah.
Shit. I got roommates too, bro.
They don't like beer either.
Yeah, they don't like beer either. Okay, but all right, going back to the beer.
That's my scale of how I judge beer.
Yeah, back to your scale. Okay, so
same scale applies to seltzers, by the way, because there's a new seltzer every other week.
But okay, but you don't like seltzers either?
I don't love them.
Okay, but you'll take one.
But I'll take one, and then like there's a few that are good, like that actually taste good. Like, so that there are more seltzers that I like than there are beers.
Okay, so like if you were at a barbecue and somebody like gave you a beer, like you're like, you're fucking dick.
Okay.
Right. But if somebody gave you a seltzer,
judge other people by what they drink too.
Right. That's what I was going to ask you. Right. Like, do you judge other people based on what they drink? Okay. So I'm curious now. If you didn't know me, because you know what I like, but like, if you didn't know me, what face does my face tell you I like to consume?
It's not just someone's face, right?
Okay.
Like it's their whole,
like their aura.
Yeah, their aura has a tinge. Like I would picture you to be a rum guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Something dark.
Okay.
Something a little sweet.
Okay.
That would be my picture.
Are you hitting on me right now?
I mean, hey, a little dark, a little sweet. That might be that might be happening, folks.
It's a
I'm just
great
saying.
it's a great combo. It's a great combo.
Right, right,
No, but seriously, like I do like rum, but not it's not my favorite thing. Like,
right.
right? So like for me, and when it comes to beer, I like all kinds of beer. Except for sours. Not really a big sour person, but I will pretty much take almost any beer any day of the week. Like I'll like anything, right? Like anything from like, you know, King Cobra, Old English, all the way up to like, like an IPA by a micro brewery. Like I don't.
By the way, microbrewery stands for someone's bathtub. If you were wondering, that's what that stands for. I'm gonna get a lot of hate from people about that. I apologize. It was just a joke, but
Look, it might be somebody's bathtub. I mean, like, it doesn't mean it's your bathtub. It's
right,
just somebody else's.
just a bathtub in
Just a
general,
bathtub. It's somebody's bathtub.
a theoretical bathtub, if you will.
Right. But no, man, like I'm with you that I definitely judge people based on what they drink. And like I said, with you, I would not have guessed that you did not like beer at all.
No, I mean, so okay, so we all go through it. I like if we're gonna go somewhere and I have to like drink beer socially, it'll be like Coors Light. You know what I mean? Something that's relative to water.
Yeah. I'm with
Like
you.
I'm not a Bud heavy guy. I'm not a like even Miller Lite. I'm like, all right.
Hmm. Hmm.
But like
Yeah.
I have experimented with mixing some liquor with some beers before, and that's pretty good. But
But the beer itself, it's not.
it's not the star of the show.
Got it. Okay. Yep. Okay. So for you, the star of the show is like bourbons and whiskeys and
Just
scotch.
liquor in general.
Oh, okay. So you like you also like tequila?
I like tequila. I
Oh,
like vodka.
I can do vodka.
Yeah.
Tequila? Oof.
Tequila, it kind of depends on what it's in. Like I can't
Um,
do a lot of straight tequila.
I can't do
I
tequila at
mean, I
all.
wind up tequila makes my clothes fall off, but like, and that's terrible. And I do that as a public service. I don't typically drink tequila.
Like tequila for me, like I definitely become very party animal like, but I don't like it. Like I don't
Right.
I don't like the taste, I don't like the smell, I don't like anything about tequila.
I
Um,
so I've had a couple really good tequilas, and that doesn't mean that they're terribly expensive. Just would a couple of them that are regarded as being some of the best tequilas.
yeah.
Um, and it's very different than what you think of as tequila.
Mhm.
That's the best way I could put it. Is it does it still have some of those same flavors? Yeah, but a really good tequila. I mean, you can sip it out of a glass like scotch. You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean? Like it's different, and it's not to say that there isn't a place for Jose Cuervo and just regular run of the mill tequilas, um, which they're okay too. If like I like margaritas, and it doesn't really matter what kind of tequila you use in a margarita. If the mix is good, then it's gonna taste good.
And see, okay, because see, that's where like I don't mind a margarita. Like, they're not my favorite. Like, if you were to have me pick between a beer, a margarita, and like, you know, uh scotch, right? Like the margarita is like I'll drink the sink water before I drink the margarita. But I'll drink it, right? Like, but
Right.
it's not. But I can pass it. And like you said, I think it's because of the fact that the mixer kind of hides a lot of the
Oh
tequila
yeah.
experience. But itself, tequila, I can't stand the smell. And it wasn't like something that I had a bad experience because you know how sometimes people attribute
Oh.
their specific taste based on experiences that they've had, right? Like
Mhm.
it's not because of that either for me. I mean, although I like some people may say, yeah, well, there was that Mexico trip that one time, and then I'd be like, okay, but that was also caused by beer, and no, that was not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so yeah, I don't know if that's what, like for me, it just doesn't cut it. Like I do now.
Now, here's a question that kind of tags along with that.
Okay.
Is there an absolute no-go for you when it comes to any alcoholic beverage? Like a specific liquor or a particular thing? Because I have a few.
Oh, that you specifically say no?
Yeah.
There is one, and only because it actually makes me a little bit angry. And
Okay.
that's Southern Comfort.
Ooh.
Cannot
Okay.
I cannot do Southern Comfort, dude. Like I just get angry for no reason.
See, mine is I will not drink a glass of wine if you pay me to do it.
Is it okay? Is it because of the taste, or is it
Um,
because of like the fact that of the way
so
that
it's
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 served?
multi-level. I don't really care about the glass. I
Okay.
like that's kind of irrelevant. I I cannot I have never had a glass of wine that actually tasted like all these crazy rich people say it tastes like. Like I don't have the palate for it, I guess.
Mhm.
It just all tastes like dirty grape water.
It just tastes like shit to you.
Yeah. Like it's kind of on the same like beer's there and I don't like beer, but I understand beer. Does that make sense?
Like you can taste the difference.
Absolutely.
Like if somebody put like
So like they almost got me with the shandies,
okay.
right? Like
Okay.
the shandies almost converted me.
Mhm. Mhm.
But then I had one that tastes more like beer than it tastes like lemonade, and I was like, I'm good.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah, yeah,
shandies
yeah.
almost had me.
I got you. Okay. So now do you do like, how they do like the margaritas where they put like the Corona inside?
Yeah,
Do you do those?
yeah, I would do that, no problem. Like I'll drink Corona, but I like that is one beer that's probably up there on the list. But I also don't drink a Corona with just a piece of lime shoved in it. I put in the lime juice mixer, so it's
Mhm.
like sweetened lime juice,
Mhm.
and then it almost tastes kind of like a margarita.
Got it. Okay. Um
Tastes like a beer flavored margarita.
End of the
Like
day, you're just going
like
after margarita.
we ran out of sweet and sour mix, so we put some lime juice and some beer in it, and here you go.
Have a margarita. Um, okay. Do you like gin?
I like gin in selective cocktails in selective amounts.
I really thought you were gonna say you like gin in July, and I was gonna be like, why in July?
Only between July 7th and 9th, actually. Um, no, so there's a fairly new, at least to this area, there's a fairly new um like pre-made drink. So that's the other thing I gotta throw this caveat out there is like if they serve it at a golf course and it's new, I'll know about it. Otherwise, I don't really go to
Otherwise, you don't
bars.
know. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like I don't hang out like that anymore.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, I don't you might catch me in a bar 2, 3 times a year, and that's because I went there to eat dinner.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
we go to plenty of restaurants that have bars or serve alcohol. It's not anything like that, um,
right. But
but
it's not
yeah,
like
so like,
back when we were in our 20s and like people were experimenting with like different kinds of like energy drinks and vodka and like
oh
all the,
yeah,
yeah. Okay.
like the
Yeah. Yeah.
Jaeger bomb phase,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Red
Yeah.
Bull and
Yeah.
vodka, Red Bull and whatever you wanted to mix it with.
Yeah. Vodka with almost anything. Like,
I mean, mine was actually Tawaka and Red Bull.
oh, dude, Tawaka is amazing.
Yeah,
I forgot about Tawaka.
Tawaka is one of those like nobody knows about it.
Yeah,
but
I like
it's
Tawaka.
fantastic. I mean, they figured it out pretty quick because I do recall in a couple fine establishments in Anne Arundel County, they actually have a Tawaka machine, which is similar to the Jaeger machine, where you like put the
Oh,
bottle in
really?
upside down, and you could just like dispense ice cold shots one after the other.
That's
Like,
funny. You know, the only reason why I knew of Tawaka was because we used to go to this I don't know if you ever went there, but like they had a body art ball is what they called it in Baltimore. And like it was like sponsored by Tawaka. But I like at the time I didn't know what Tawaka was. And then like we went in there and then like they
thought it was
just
like
gave you.
fire logs or something.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know like, what it was. Like I thought it was like a fuck, I don't even know. But then we ended
It
up
was like a
going.
tequila derivative.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. um, but yeah, then like we went to the show and then they started handing it out and it was like really good. I mean, it tastes like it has a resemblance of like amaretto for those of you that have had.
It's very similar. It's like a orange vanilla liqueur, I think is what it's classified as, like for all of the uppity beverage people. Um, for all you people that drink wine, that's what it's called. Um, but like it's just freaking delicious.
It
It tastes
is.
like I don't even know exactly, but it does have that like amaretto-ish kind of. It has a viscosity to it too. That's
Yeah,
a little
yeah, yeah.
different.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, like, but yeah, like I've not heard of it outside of like Baltimore. But yeah, I definitely would say Tawaka's up there in terms of one of the ones that I do enjoy. And you just hit me out of nowhere with that one. Um,
That's it. See, but I think it's because I like to kind of explore drinks until I
mhm,
find stuff that I like,
mhm.
but then I'll always keep them in the back pocket.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. See, like, and then all right, going back to wine though, like, and now I'm kind of gathering. You don't like bitter, do you? But
Bitter's
you like
not.
coffee. But you like
I
coffee,
love coffee, like all different kinds of coffee, strong coffee. Like
right?
I don't think it's the bitter as much as it's the. I don't know. Maybe it's the sweet.
I don't know.
I prefer like the sweetness of things.
Like you're. Oh, okay, okay. Do you usually put sweetener in your coffee? Just out of curiosity.
It depends on what kind of coffee I'm drinking, but typically, like just regular coffee. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do.
No,
I will put sweetener in my coffee over putting cream in my coffee.
and maybe that's what it is though. You see what I'm saying? Because like so wine has like a bit of bitterness to it, right? Like and it has a bitter aftertaste. So like usually like it might taste sweet when you first like take,
Like
a sip.
a sip,
Yeah, it might taste sweet, but then afterwards it starts getting bitter.
right?
And then with beer, it's the same thing, right? Like you just get hit with bitter, and then hence why you also like as soon as I said IPA, you were like, hell no, that's definitely not
Right.
in my
I mean, the
palate.
bitter thing definitely plays a part in it. I was because like I just don't. I think personally, I just don't associate something you drink with being bitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I drink a lot of sweet tea. I probably I mean, every time I get checked for diabetes, I don't have it, but maybe it might be in my future.
um,
Block the sugar.
like I
I'm gonna
need
wind up with the diabetes.
I need the sugar. Um, no, man, like I wonder if that definitely has a strong like a strong foundation to why it is that you don't like that sort of thing because again like you also said right like you don't associate drinking anything bitter just for the sake of drinking something bitter right like
Right,
to you like you're more of like I'm gonna go have something sweet because that is actually more fulfilling than this bitter ass drink and I think maybe for me and my background, like the Hispanic side, I think we did have bitter drinks in some aspects. Don't get me wrong, like we have a ton of drinks that have a ton of sugar.
I
But
drank
I
Kool-Aid as a kid.
right.
Hi, my
But
name's Brandon. I'm here for Kool-Aid-aholics Anonymous.
dude, Kool-Aid is amazing. Um, but yeah, like, but we definitely had bitter drinks, and maybe that's what for us it's not as bad. You know what I
Maybe.
mean?
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
mean, I also think that so my first drink I ever had in my life, um, alcoholic wise, I was probably like 10.
Okay.
And my grandfather drank Jim Beam and Coke. My
Mhm.
great grandfather, excuse me, drank Jim Beam and Coke. And I'm pretty sure um I stole it from him and I just liked it because it had soda. And
Mm.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe because I know a lot of people, like, kids start out like, you think it's funny, so you're like, hey, you're 10, but try that beer, you're gonna hate it anyway. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm.
Um, where on the flip side, I actually tried a mixed drink first, and maybe that's why I like that versus beer.
That's a good point too. That's a
Because
very
like the
good
first
point.
I can remember the first time I tasted beer, I'm like, oh, what is this shit? Like, you people drink liquor and it's fantastic, and then you
Right.
drink beer, it's fucking gross.
That's funny because, like, again, I had the opposite, right? Like, I didn't have much liquor in like, you know, because it was my uncles that, like, I pretty much saw drink most of the time. Um, so like my uncles used to drink beer, and then I was given beer. Um, like, you know, and like you said, right, it starts out as like a, you know, here, taste this, right? Um, and then like maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're more like you associate it with something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or
It's
maybe
weird.
just your first experience for it.
Yeah, yeah,
You guys should let us know in the comments. What was your first
yeah,
experience with alcohol? If
yeah.
you're over the age of 21, please.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
Community guidelines.
Drink
Drink
responsibly.
responsibly.
The more you know.
Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
I
Next thing you
dig
know,
it.
we'll have our first video taken down from
I
YouTube.
know, right? I'd be like, um, no, like you might have a point there. Now I gotta think about that because you're right. It could be the association that you had with it earlier on that
Right.
made you lean one way or the other.
Well,
So,
and maybe I've been holding it against people that they drink IPAs wrongfully all this time.
mm, maybe
Because
you've
I'm
been a
sorry, man. There's so the people like yourself that, like, you'll have an IPA, right?
mhm.
It's good. You like it. But there's those, like, diehard IPAs. Like, the
Yeah,
diehards, like, "Oh, it's gotta be triple malted, quadruple IPA in order for me to even taste anything."
yeah, and either
I'm like
and even
I'm
for me to
like,
be in the
"Bro, that
same
means you're
room,
a fucking alcoholic."
right? Even for me to sit in the same room, I have to have
Right.
it. Yeah, no, I'm
"Get
I'm
your
one-
8% beer out of here.
no, I'm
12 and
100%.
above over here. 12 and above."
No, I'm 100% with you. Like that's and by no means like I don't take offense because I'm definitely not one of those. But like IPA drinkers are very similar to um people that like are vegan
Oh, yeah.
or they do CrossFit, right? Like they have to tell you, right? And then they have to like school you on IPAs. And
Oh, yeah,
you're
you gotta
like
get a lesson
and you're like,
while you're there.
bitch, I got the
Uh,
Kool-Aid. Like, why do I care about IPAs?
right. Like, it's funny because 'cause I'll have people do that, and I'll be like, "It still tastes like ass." I'm sorry. Like, to me, like, it doesn't mean that it tastes like ass to you,
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
wanna
yeah.
be very clear. I'm not trying to, like, spread hate out there to other people. Like, if you drink IPAs and you love them, great, but, just know that I don't fully believe you that you love
Mhm, mhm,
it.
mhm,
Like, that I think that's a big part of it too, is, like, I think that we're on the downslope of an IPA trend,
mhm,
and I feel like people try to be super trendy with what they drink, with what they like to drink.
mhm.
And that's one thing that kind of is like, and I'm guilty. So, like, I'm not just over here throwing stones at everybody. I'm guilty. Like, seltzers are a thing. I tried it. Some I like, some I don't. IPAs were a thing. I instantly tried it. I instantly decided that I hated it. But and maybe I'm sure there's some beer out there that's some kind of IPA that I would probably love. I doubt it because I don't like beer in general, but like it's a trend thing where like people just jump on the bandwagon like, yeah, I got to have triple malted
Like,
hops.
yeah, like I have to have like the newest and greatest. Yeah,
Right.
I'm with you there. Like that's definitely not
It's like, man,
not it, like
I
it,
still enjoy a Bacardi and a Bacardi Limon and Sprite once in a while from
right.
back in
Well,
high
but
school. Like,
right,
you know what I
right,
mean? Like,
right. Well, but
I'm down.
the thing is that like you have, like I'm with you. Like that's the downside of actually liking IPAs, right? Is the fact that like everybody looks at me when I say like usually like when people are like, "Hey, what kind of beer do you like?" Like IPAs, but like I don't want people to look at me like I'm a dick, but they do as soon as I say that. Like the people
They're
that
like,
don't,
oh, you're one of those,
right,
huh?
right. Like the people that
Yeah,
don't
we
know
got
me,
something for you, buddy.
right,
I'm buying Natty Ice. All right.
right,
Like,
right, right. But they don't know that like they're gonna bring the natty ice, and I'm gonna be happy with the natty ice. Like they don't know that either.
absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? But like, but I'm with you that that's one of the downsides of do like of liking IPAs, right? But I also think that like that you're right that chasing the next coolest thing or that fad wave, like it's definitely one of those things that like I think every little thing has, right? Like I mean you had it with like you know with Chipotle, right? You have it with like Chick-fil-A, you had it with Starbucks, you had it with like all these little things, right? And I think that you're going to continue to get that because it's
I got to
uh,
give it credit though. IPAs and stuff, that stuff's kind of stuck the test of time a little bit because it has been a solid 10-year run,
well, and I
12-year
think that's
run, 15-year run at this point.
well, and I think that that's the thing that like we as fans of said product, right, or fans of said thing, is that sometimes we go, well, shit, if I like it this much, I have to get other people to try it too because they're
Right.
gonna love it, right? But in reality, like we're probably annoying in that aspect, right? Because
But
like,
I think in the back of your mind is like, like, so it's no secret. I'm sure it's like this in every major city in America, but there's been an influx of breweries. You
absolutely.
know, you can't drive here in Connecticut. I feel like there's a brewery in every town. Um, Not saying anything bad about that because I think it's cool. Like it's I'm all for it's a better way to consume beer than from some giant conglomerate corporation and all this stuff. Like support small business. I'm all for it. But at the same time, it's like I feel like some of them are just like, why is there so many? Like
hmm hmm
I don't know. Like there's breweries everywhere all of a sudden.
You know what it is though, man. Like I think this kind of ties into another topic that I think we need to touch base on in a future episode. But this kind of ties into um the thing that like sometimes we don't tell people the truth about their products earlier on, right? So somebody may say like, like, hey, I created this new beer, right? And then somebody goes, oh, it's fucking delicious, dude. It's the best beer ever. Go ahead and
Right.
start some shit. And in reality,
Fucking is like total 100% like yes man.
right,
Like, I
right,
got
right.
your back, homie. This stuff is fantastic as he spits it into a cup next to him.
Exactly, exactly. And I think there's too much of that to the point that like some of these microbreweries, right? They end up going like, well, shit, I'm gonna go bigger, right? And like that's where like, no, you don't. You're
Stick with
you're
what you
good.
got, homie.
Yeah, you're good in your niche and just stay there. And I think that that's the growth that you've seen in some of these breweries, right? That it's almost again, it's almost annoying seeing how many of them there are now because
Right.
like it's like, dude, you're spitting out the same beer, right? But
Well, and maybe it's ignorance, but I can't tell the difference.
see, and
Like
I think
I can tell the difference between an IPA and a sour and whatever, but I can't drink you know, a friend of ours works at Bad Sons Brewery. Fantastic place. Place is awesome. Like I'll go there and hang out any day of the week. I
mhm,
just don't like the beer.
right,
Like
Yeah, like you're the type
I
that
can't tell the difference between a Bad Sons IPA and
right,
Joe's Brewery IPA.
right,
No
like
offense to the guys that put a ton of work in to make it happen. Like it's not about that. I'm not a beer critic. I'm a guy that likes other stuff. Sorry, but at the same time, it's like
yeah, no,
how
I'm
many versions of it is there?
well, and that's
I
the
mean,
thing,
and
like, and I
that's
think
true with all alcohol. There's a bunch of different brands, but
well, but here's the thing. I think that that's where it comes down to the taste buds that you've also developed in that area, right? So, for example, like if somebody were to give you today, right, Coke, Pepsi, and Dr. Pepper, right, and like blind test, right? Even though like they're all pretty much like the same black liquid, fizzy, blah 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 blah. I guarantee you can tell them apart. 100% you'll
absolutely
be able to tell them apart easily, right?
right,
But it's because your taste buds have been developed in that area where you can tell the difference between each like sugar, like the amount of sugar, you can probably tell the difference, right?
right,
And I think that that's where like with IPAs for like or anything, right? For somebody that hasn't tasted it, just like for me, for example, right? Like I don't have the taste buds that you have when it comes to, like bourbon and stuff like that, the stuff that
right.
you have. Um, and I think that like that's where we end up getting lost, right? As the two groups come together, right? Because you have the one group that's like fanatics and they like can taste every single bit of the, you know, yeast and the
What barley was
barley. Yeah,
used,
they could taste
and
every bit, right? And then you have the other
they
group
know
that
where the
just
hops came
right,
from.
right. And then you
Like,
have and they could tell where the water was actually like, obtained from, all this
oh,
stuff. Then you
this is Colorado water.
right, exactly. This is Colorado
This is
from the
worth a
legit.
dollar more.
Right, right. But then you have like the other group that just goes, this tastes like shit, right? Right. And then the problem is that like you have this group that wants to talk to this other group and say, this is fucking awesome when this group doesn't give a shit at all. Right. And
Right.
then the problem is that like, we end up almost pushing an agenda to where like you end up hating the item even more because our agenda told you that it was good. And then when you taste it, you're like, what the fuck is the hype about? It tastes like shit.
It's even more bitter than
Right.
beer.
It's even shittier than they said. I hate it more now.
Right. And I don't know, man. Like, not that I'm out here trying to be a non-rule follower. Like, I'm not out here like, yeah, stick it to the man. But I just
Rebel.
don't. Yeah, rebel. I don't like beer. I don't.
No, I get it though.
And I hate wine even more.
And I get it. I get see
Like
why
wine, the pretentious side of wine is what kills it for me. Because I'm like,
okay, then
no.
how do you feel about boxed wine?
Box wine.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for it. It's called your 20s.
That's awesome. Okay.
Like, I mean, everybody slapped the bag once or twice, right? Like,
That's
that's fine, but there's a time and a place for it. Like, a perfect example. If I'm going to a concert,
uh-huh.
box wine is the way to go. Like, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, if you want to bring wine to a concert, you're not going to roll around with 12 glass bottles at a concert.
right.
But you're also not going to sit down to a nice dinner at an expensive restaurant and get a glass of Franzia.
Why not? That would be fucking hilarious.
All right, so when we open up our 5-star restaurant, we will be serving box wine. Just to make
Hell
that clear.
yeah. Hell
And
yeah.
twisted tea.
Yes.
Because do you know they have boxes of twisted tea?
And what? They do?
Yes, sir. Boxes of twisted tea.
Like they come in the bladder and everything?
Hold on. Let's see if
What?
they have the bladder as that you're speaking of. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, got to keep it twisted. That's the
Ooh.
name of the website. Yes, I'm over 21.
Are you though? Are you?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Pretty sure.
At
I
this
counted.
point.
I counted yesterday, and I was.
All right, so maybe that was a short-lived thing because I'm not seeing it on their website anywhere. Hmm.
Did you did you
I
did you hear
recant my previous thing.
did you hear that by any chance?
What?
The sound of my broken heart. You just
I
shattered it.
mean, hold on, because
I
wait,
thought this was legit.
wait for it. It is. There's one in my refrigerator in my garage.
You would.
That- It's twisted tea,
You,
bro.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
When have you had a bad twisted tea?
No, you're right. Like
That's what I like. That's what I want to ask. Is like I've had a bad IPA
Mhm.
that
It's
even
true.
people that drink IPA said was bad. So
Mhm.
like I've never had a bad twisted tea. Never. None of the flavors. I mean, some I like better than others, but
Okay, but what about if you were ordering it at a bar? Not necessarily a twisted tea, but like a spiked tea.
okay.
It could still be fucked up though.
It could be. And like that's like Long Island iced tea. I look at twisted tea as kind of like a Long Island in a
That's
can,
what I do too.
right? And I feel like the I've had bad Long Island iced teas, but I would still pick the bad Long Island iced tea over
Over
the
the bad
IPA.
IPA. Over the
Over
good
the good
IPA.
IPA.
Fair
You
enough.
know, like that's just how my brain works. I could
Fair
be
enough.
terrible. I don't know.
Fair enough. Okay.
Now, what I'm interested to hear because so I feel like wine people are either extravagant about it or they
Mhm.
don't drink it at all.
Yep.
Like I don't think there's a lot of middle of the road wine folks.
No.
I
No.
think you're either die hard or not at all.
Right.
Or,
Well,
to toast at a wedding. Okay.
correct. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're gonna drink
Yeah.
some champagne.
Yeah. Or like when you had like a bad breakup and you just want to ruin your night with like a bottle of wine and like a Chipotle burrito. Like,
Right.
yeah.
I would never eat those two things. I would never consume those two at the same time. There's not a chance.
I saw the
No.
panic in your face when I
No.
said that. You were
No,
like,
no, no, no.
no.
The things that would happen within an hour after that are just terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
New life forms.
Oh man, possibly in the shape of Buicks.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But no,
But
like but I agree with you. I think that there's only the two sides, right? That you have the people that absolutely love it, and then the people that like have it once in a while or nothing at all.
right. I mean, everybody gets talked into. You go to like some fancy steak restaurant. They're like, "Oh, this 1989 Merlot, whatever, it pairs wonderfully with the steak." I'm like, it still tastes like grapes,
You're like, so does this Coke.
right? Like this Pepsi will do fine, sir.
Right.
Like you want to pair something with a steak? Give me a straight whiskey. You know what I mean? Throw me 3 fingers of scotch on the table. Like
That hey,
but
that's
like I can personally see the process there, right? Like I could see that. I could see, okay, I know at least for me, there's tastes within certain whiskeys or bourbons that I like that I think would go really well with a steak.
mhm.
But I can't see it with a glass of wine. Like I can't make the connection.
But see,
Maybe my connections are broken.
well,
I'm
that's what.
sorry.
But I'm saying that's why I was saying that. Like, I think it's because the taste buds haven't been
I'm
developed
not
to
willing.
acquire it. Exactly.
I'm
That's
not
the other
willing
thing.
to acquire it.
Right. That's the other thing that you're like, no, I'm good with what I've discovered so far. I'm okay there with Darwinism. I'm good. I've evolved enough.
Again, that could be because when I was a kid, I remember when people would have wine at dinner or whatever, my grandmother would be like, "Oh, you can have a little bit too," and I'm pretty sure that was grape juice,
Mm,
like some Welch's
mm,
standard grape juice, and
yeah,
then so I grew up thinking that grape juice was wine.
that's
And then I have wine one day and I'm like, this is trash. Like, did you leave that bottle sit in the fridge for too long? Like,
Can I tell you a really?
I don't like warm drinks too much either.
That's what. Okay, I don't either.
Sorry,
No. That's okay. I'm with you. I'm with you. Let me go back to wine for a little bit because I have a funny story, but it's also really messed up. Okay, so
okay. So there's about to be an epic moment here.
yeah,
I just want you guys. This is
this
your
one,
time stamp.
this one. Okay,
Okay.
this is another one that may potentially get a "that's racist" moment. Okay, so
Oh,
one of my best friends growing up, he used to have Jewish wine, right? And he gave us Jewish wine, right? And like it was okay to kind of get a little boozy with, right? So we drank it. So then one day I finally like this was like when we were like underage, right? And don't drink for those of you that are underage, don't drink. But when
it was terrible, and I
when
regret it.
when we got over 21, I went to a liquor store and I
Got
went
all nostalgic for a minute.
no dude, I went to this liquor store and I asked for Auschwitz wine. And the guy said, "Excuse me?" And then like I was like, the Jewish wine, Auschwitz, where is it? And then he was like, "Get out." And I was like, why though? Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what I did wrong. And then he was like, just get out. And then like I was like, but I okay. And then like I got out, and then I went to another liquor store. I found the wine. For those of you that have not had said wine, the wine is called Manischewitz, not Auschwitz. But my dumb ass didn't know that at the time, and I asked for Auschwitz wine. Yeah, there you have it.
That's racist. Oh my god.
That's a true story, man.
Oh my god. You
That's
did
a true
not
story.
pay attention in history class.
No, I was an idiot, and that's the thing. Like, I actually love history, dude. But like,
Right,
I
but
just
that's part that you wrote out of your brain.
yeah, like I was just like I went in there with like pure confidence too. Like, like I was gonna go in there and be like, "Hey, can you give me like a 12-pack of Corona?" Like, no, like that's ridiculous. So, but yeah, there you
Yes,
have
excuse me, sir. Where's your Auschwitz?
it. Excuse me, sir.
Oh.
Yeah, that happened, dude. It
Oh my
totally
god.
happened. It totally happened.
Hold it. I'm sorry. I have to take a drink after that one. Just water, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, it was a funny story.
No
Now,
terrorist activities to drink over here.
dude, do you know how stupid I was? And then I told
Oh man.
my friend about it, and then he was like, "You fucking moron." I was like, "Dude, I didn't know, man. Like, because I didn't know."
And clearly, unfortunately, like apparently that man knew exactly what you were talking about, and it was terrible.
That man, I think, wished death upon me because
My
that shit hit home for him because he kicked me out. He kicked me out.
He said, "Get out."
He said, "Get out." I was so embarrassed.
Like the only thing is even if he himself was of the Jewish religion or like was of that, like knew what it was and took offense to anything that you had to say, clearly had to know that you weren't being like, because I could literally hear you walking in and saying that, knowing you as a person, and I can tell you didn't say it with like a bad connotation. You
no, like
were
I
trying
didn't.
to be confident in what you were looking for.
Yeah, like it wasn't like I went in there fucking door kicking. It was just like, where are these motherfuckers? Like, nah, like it wasn't like that. Like it was like, excuse me.
No, it was like, excuse me, can you tell me where this is?
Yeah.
And then it just happened to be that you were calling it something horrific.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it was stupid, dude.
Oh man.
But that happened. True story.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. So wine.
Ooh. Yeah, wine. Back to wine.
Back to wine. So I don't mind wine.
Okay, so I have to throw a caveat in because I am both ignorant and immature. But to be clear, Boone's Farm is not a wine, in my opinion.
I agree there.
But Boone's Farm is the only thing in a wine bottle that I like.
Yes, I am with you. I'm with you. Boone's Farm is basically like spiked Kool-Aid.
It's a malt beverage, I believe.
It is a malt
So
beverage.
it's right next to Mad Dog 2020.
It is.
Which that is a taste that I just said the words out loud and instantly could taste it in my mouth.
I threw up
in a
little.
bad way.
Yeah, I threw up a little.
I threw up a lot of Mad Dog 2020.
No. I mean, just now I threw up a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no. Back in the day, yeah. MD 2020. No. Yeah, like I said, I don't mind wine. I'm more of a red wine kind of person than I am a white wine. Which is funny because like younger, I used to like white wine as opposed to red wine, but now I like red wine. If I were to have any sort of wine, it would be that. But wine would not be my first choice. I don't really like the seltzer drinks, even though I actually do like seltzer.
See, I don't really like either. I mean, there's been a few of them, like I said, that have like there's these ones called High Noon, I believe. They're seltzers, but they're not like they don't like you don't feel it on your tongue as much as you do with like regular seltzers or like White Claws or anything like that.
Like the fizz, you'd mean?
Yeah, like the fizz.
Okay.
Like it's not as
It's not
fizzy.
as carbonated.
Right.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but at least that's what it tastes like to me.
But-
Plus, the flavors are a little more pronounced.
Okay, but you like that?
It's okay.
Okay. I have not had it.
I will purchase it.
Got it. I've not had it. I've like I said, I've had a White Claw. Wasn't a big fan of it. Like I can't get into
the
them.
Trulies taste like the Walmart brand.
Yeah,
seltzers. They do.
I don't. Yeah, the seltzer.
Except
alcohol.
for the like, they have like a whole line of like iced tea flavored ones that are more like an Arnold Palmer with a twist kind of thing.
See, like, okay, here's the thing with me, like, so to me, seltzer drinks are made to help you cut back on calories, right? And still give you.
And I hate diet everything.
Okay, so I don't mind diet stuff, but here's the thing, like, when I'm having a drink, I already know that that's bad for me.
Right.
Like,
so dieting while drinking is
exactly like I'm already going there. So if I'm going
it's a
there,
cheat moment for me all day long.
Exactly. So then why not make it taste freaking delicious, right?
Right.
Like at that point, like if I'm gonna have if my choice is gonna be, be miserable with a seltzer drink or have a whiskey ginger, I'm gonna go with a whiskey ginger all day, every day. And I'm talking about like shitty whiskey, like like
plastic bottle whiskey.
Yeah, I will drink that with ginger ale all day.
I will drink 7 and 7.
Yeah, but I would rather that than the best tasting seltzer drink.
Agreed.
Because like I said, I just don't see the benefit of it.
Okay, so here's another piece to the puzzle for me.
Okay.
Is so when I was in my 20s, early 20s, late teens, whenever I started drinking socially a lot, it was also like I have a limited amount of money, and if I buy beer, I have to buy a lot of it to get drunk. Yep. Like I didn't really care. It was I wasn't out choosing for taste. It was effect that I was going for. So that's why you were going. But I learned quickly. They sell a half gallon of Rickaloff vodka was $8.
Yeah.
Which $8 if you think you buy beer cans, if you think the average price when we were that age was probably $1 a can, maybe 70 cents a can, something like that.
Yeah.
I'd have to buy that much more beer than I would have to buy in vodka
Booze. Yeah.
or just liquor in general. Any kind of liquor, doesn't matter.
And see that I think that makes a lot more sense too, because
Right. So I was poor and needed to
right,
get fucked up.
right. Well, and that's the other thing. Like, I think that like for us, because we were the same thing. Like we didn't have a lot of money to buy booze, and again, like at that point, like dude, there was like a I have not seen those here in Colorado. I don't know if they have them in Connecticut, but I know in Maryland they do, and that's drive-through liquor stores.
They do not have them here.
They don't. I haven't seen them here. Then again, like I haven't been out looking for them. So if you guys know of one, not that I need it anymore, but tell me about it, just because I want to get rid of the doubt. But at the drive-through liquor store, like, because again, we were buying liquor from these places before we were 21, right?
Right.
And they kind of knew. I mean, they knew, like, but like they kind of turned away, right? So when we used to go there, like we
They're
used to
like,
buy,
give me your money, please.
right? So like we used to buy, right? We used to buy whatever was on in an ad, right? So like we would go to the drive-thru, and then if we saw an ad for like Captain Morgan, then we would buy Captain Morgan,
Oof.
right? If like we
God, if
saw
the
an
liquor
ad,
store owner knew that, oh, he would have messed with you guys. So I know
oh,
I would.
oh, absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
there would be I would cover the front of the store in gin advertisements for young
Right,
children.
just to get all the gin out of there.
Because dude, like, I'm sorry, gin is an acquired taste.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
and it
absolutely.
has to be mixed perfectly with something else in order
Mhm.
for it to even taste good.
Oh,
In my
absolutely.
opinion.
No, 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 no. I'm with you with the gin aspect of it.
Like, I don't drink gin martinis. I'm just saying.
I mean, I like I'll have a gin and tonic. That's about it. That's probably the only gin drink that like I
Well, I
enjoy.
I was kind of leading on to it. I started talking about it earlier, and then we jumped around a bunch of different times. But there's a new thing out, and now I can't remember it.
Like a type of liquor.
Yeah, it's like a pre-made, ready to drink. Oh, long drink. It's called long drink. It sounds like you'd buy it at IKEA. But it's delicious.
Oh, okay.
It basically tastes like you put gin and Fresca together in a can.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, they have a couple different flavors now. And originally, I believe they only had two, which it was the same exact flavor profile. It was just that one is a 5.5 ABV and the other one is like a 10.
Oh, wow.
And the 10, they sell them. I think they're in 4 packs. They might be in 6 packs.
What are they called?
Don't quote me.
Longboards?
Long drink.
Long drink.
But I had one of those at the golf course one day, and I was like, "What is this sorcery in a can? It's gin, and I like it." So
That's
that kind
funny.
of led me down a path where I'm like, "Okay, I like gin in that. Is there anything else I like gin in?" Very short list, but I'll drink it.
Oh, they have a cranberry one.
Yeah, they've been coming out with some new flavors along the way, I think too, but I think the cranberry one's brand new. And then there's a bunch of other places, like a couple different companies. Like I know Bevy sells one that they're like I don't know if that's a different brand, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, like they sell their own version?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna look this up. But yeah, no,
It's
like
pretty good.
I
Oh,
like you
there is
said,
a
I mean,
zero sugar one too. I haven't tried that one.
of the long drink,
Yeah. You know,
I may have
since
to try
I'm
this.
self-diagnosing myself with diabetes,
um,
even though all my tests say I don't have.
I'm gonna have to try this. But yeah, like yeah, gin is
It's
definitely an
pretty
acquired
trendy.
taste.
But
Well,
yeah, back to your drive-through liquor store. I apologize. Went
no,
off on a
you're
tangent.
good. No, no, no. That was good. It was good. But no, so like at the drive-through liquor store, they would always have these ads, right? So then we would go through the drive-through and then pick whatever was on the ad. So like it would be like, Captain Morgan or like Miller High Life and stuff like that. So we were like drinking all sorts of stuff. I mean, at one point, like we got to the point where we were drinking, like I said, like McCormick gin with Boone's Farm, right? We were mixing them together just because
They
that was
cancel each
there.
other out,
Yeah.
and it
I mean,
gets
like
the job done.
it's like I would not have that at today's age.
No.
Like I feel like I would have a hangover for weeks if I did
Ooh.
that. But
I
back
can
then, my
still
body
that's kind of what I fear most about most of the stuff
is that
is
you'll have a hangover.
remembering that feeling like right when you wake up where you're dizzy, feels like your eyes are about to pop out of your head, you're in the process of throwing up before you wake up,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, I don't want to die, but I don't want to live.
Right. Right. Like that's where you're like, please get me out of this one. I promise I
Right.
won't drink again.
Can I
I
please go
promise.
back to sleep, please?
Right.
But your head hurt so bad you couldn't even go back to sleep.
Right. Can you like just make me throw up or put me to sleep? One of the two.
Something.
Yeah, let me do something.
Cardiac arrest.
All right.
Anything that can bring me back from.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But no, man, like I definitely would say that beer was probably more common for me. And I think maybe that's why I ended up acquiring a taste more for beer because I do like beer. I think beer's probably up there with whiskey. Like those two to me are like I would never turn them down. Like, like if you offered me a rum, yeah, I'd probably turn that down. If you offer me a vodka, yeah, I'll probably turn that down. But when it comes to like whiskey, scotch, and beer, I probably wouldn't turn you down for any kind that you're giving me.
well, and I look at beer as a situational drink too.
Mm.
Like, which I don't think a lot of people do. Beer is kind of an all-around drink for most people. For me, though, like I don't know if you remember this, but I clearly remember this. When you guys lived in Austin and we were down there visiting, it was like 114 degrees. And we sat
Yeah.
on your back porch and drank Modelo's in
Mm.
a frosty mug with the rim and the whole nine with the lime, and like I don't think you could have put another drink in front of me at that moment that would
Yeah,
have tasted better than that.
I was
But
bombed.
it
You're
was
right.
114 degrees outside.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, right. Like you
like
wouldn't want to have a whiskey like a whiskey
no,
straight up right then. Yeah,
no.
I'm with you.
You wouldn't want to have you. I don't even think you would want like Captain and Coke at that
No,
moment either.
no.
Like, and nothing that, and that's what I mean is I think it's very situational for me. Like that is one time that I will drink beer. Another time that kind of again, it's kind of that childhood thing is if I go to a baseball game,
Mm-hmm.
I will drink a $37 beer. Is that
Even
what
though
we're
you
up
don't
to
like
now?
beer.
I even though I don't like it, but like something about sitting in a ballpark, watching a baseball game live in person, eating 2 dirty water hot dogs and drinking Coors Light or even better, an MGD draft,
Mhm.
like in a big old plastic cup.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
something about that is it's a different feeling. Like it has a feeling that comes along with it.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Like you wouldn't you wouldn't want eggnog while you're
Right.
at a baseball game.
No, no,
I get it. I get it.
no.
I just had that mental picture of
You're
you
not gonna
having
have a
egg.
white Russian.
Right.
Yeah.
At
It's like
150 degrees.
white Russians. $41 for 8 ounces of white Russian, folks. It's
Dude.
expensive, but you love it.
No, I'm with you, man. I think it's all about scenario, but then again, like there are certain things that just can't be acquired no matter what. Like I said, tequila is one of those for me. I just can't. So I completely understand where you're coming from with like the the beer aspect. So but yeah, I think for today's episode, I think I'm walking away with still adventure out and try something new. But
I would agree, because real quick, I know we're trying to recap here, but I will
yeah.
say maybe it's the fact that I like drinking, which that could be taken a bunch of different ways, but I will always have that exploration fact of I'm gonna try. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
in
yeah.
10 years from now they're like, oh, we now have figured out how to brew non-bitter sweet IPAs. I'll try. I'll try. I mean, I'm
uh,
pretty sure what I just described is called orange juice,
yeah.
but
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Like if you take a lot of the bitter out and add a bunch of sugar, it just tastes like orange juice. But
He has a point, ladies and gentlemen. He does. He does.
you
Hey,
know,
no, you're definitely right, man. But no, I think I'm definitely walking away with trying something new, continuing to experiment. Um, Again, do it to your own well-being. Um, but try.
right. And you know what? It's something that I've put together in this episode that I mean, this is newfound information for me. Just today and looking back and doing the reflection on what we're talking about. I'd have to say maybe we shouldn't judge each other by what we drink because it could date all the way back to childhood and some of our own personal experiences. Now, don't be an IPA dick. That's all I ask is don't be that guy. All right? Because you know what? We all have had different experiences. Don't judge back. I won't judge you. Don't judge back.
With all due respect, don't be a dick.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Peace.
Peace.